What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel that tries to teach you life skilling and waste more time so that you guys don't have to. My name is Hetty, and with the new Family Shared LIfeskilling that came out, I decided that it's now a perfect time to go down a complete and comprehensive guide on gathering in Black Desert Online. This is going to be a longer guide, so I do apologize for those who normally are used to my smaller guides. It will be extremely longer compared to what I normally put out, but rest assured, it should have as much gathering information possible. Let me know if I miss anything down below, and without further ado, let's just get into it, shall we? The higher you're gathering, the less chance that you will consume your energy. For gathering, you want to hit Guru. Guru is the goal. The higher your gathering level, the higher chances of not using any of your energy. It also gives you back mastery for every gathering level. After you've hit master gathering and then figuring out whether or not you want to focus on mastery or, continue going to Guru, but 9 times out of 10, I'd tell you to go and hit Guru. After you got to the comfortable 800 mastery, though, mastery is what we use for gathering to increase the drop rate of our materials. Basic drop rate, if you're looking, my 1800 mastery. 1800 mastery will give me plus 80% on my basic resources, 171.1% on my special resources, and my rare resources 213.9%. We want to go for the higher mastery for a lot more materials and a higher chance of getting those rare drops, like the sharps. You want to get the Fairies breath, Layla's petals, your rare drops. The higher your mastery, the more chance of getting those rare drops and the more materials that you can get. There's other ways of increasing your rare materials, like the Agris Fever here can increase your gathering item drop quantity. Like, you can get more items for however much Agris you have, and to get more of the Agris, you will have to complete the Book of American Volume 1 and 2. Also, you have to be level 56 to unlock Agris, and level 58 and level 60 to do both volumes of Marigan to unlock the full, I think it's 100k Agris Fever point. That'll speed up the amounts of materials that you can get for the amount of points that you have. You will regen a little bit of points, like 20k points every day at 6 a.m. It's one way to go ahead and do your gathering. If you don't have a lot of time, click it on and you'll be getting 2 times the amount. It will use more points for the materials that you're going for, with ore gathering taking the most of your Agris points. Just go ahead and stock up your mastery. The goal is to hit 2k mastery to get back the most materials that you can just for the mastery alone, so you can get more back for your Agris and your hedgehog and things like that. Your mastery can be obtained from getting your mastery accessories, your mastery gear. The gathering minigame can be unlocked after you hit artisan on your gathering and you head out to the land of the morning light. Heading out to the land of the morning light, you talk to Hyung over here. He will have a quest for you to go do an 8-part little quest chain to unlock your artisan gathering. Your artisan gathering can be found over here in your life skill tab, the mastery section. It will unlock that little mini game. You have a chance of getting 2 times the amount of materials that you normally would get. So if you were gonna get 36 of this, you are now getting 200 to 300 of that item. But you have to complete the mini game, and with that mini game, it will give you 10 of the rare drops if you have any of the rare drops active in the loot window, or a very, 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 very small chance of getting the millennial ginseng. Taking a look at the millennial wild ginseng, it gives you a max energy plus 50, weight limit plus 50, energy recovery plus 1, breath and the strength experience plus 20%, heat stroke and hypothermia resistance plus 50%. Not to mention, it gives you more stamina to run, more resistance for say hunting or getting hit. The minigame will unlock will have a chance of getting that. So I suggest going out there, unlocking your Artisan Green Thumb minigame. You can find the quest in your suggested tab. If you head down Green Thumb, use energy to gather more. If you complete this whole quest line, you should unlock the minigame. It's a 90-day buff for the whole entire family. It's not just one character, it's the whole entire family. If you guys are out there, you guys are burning through your energy, fortunately for you, there are good ways to increase your gathering time the amount of money that you can get by increasing your max energy. The best way to go ahead and do that, which there are guides on it, a quick little summary, the cliff notes for that. If you guys are having trouble gathering longer and need more energy, your knowledge will have all of the best ways to increase your energy, with ecology being the quickest. Ecology, you just go around murdering random monsters, animals, and learning all about the areas. That can be easily done. Your adventure logs will take you around, introducing you to different characters, different items. Look around, figure out which ones are easier to do, the quickest ones for you. Ecology, and it will increase your energy account wide. Like, there's no worries about it. You guys are having trouble with all of your energy recovery still after the fact. There are a couple items that you can use to help out with the energy recovery. You have the energy potions, the energy tonics, and the miraculous herbal medicine. Energy tonics can only be bought from the Pearl Shop or the Loyalty Shop. Potions can be made using any tune and exchanging 200 energy for 50 energy recovery potion from Olliston over in Calpheon region, Dalbo leader, and Olliston over there in Velia. Those are the three areas that I know off the top of my head that you can exchange your energy. As for the herbal medicine has to be obtained from the strange and beautiful herb that can be found over there in the Land of the Morning Light, or can be bought off the central market. Energy tonic and the energy potion will recover a max of 50 energy every 10 minutes. The miraculous herbal medicine, however, will recover 500 energy instantly and give you a plus 30 energy recovery every 3 minutes. So you can have a total of plus 44 or plus 46 max energy recovery every 3 minutes if you wanted. Like I said, that will require the 50 Stranger Beautiful Herb, 1 energy potion extra large, the 50 energy potion, 5 everlasting herbs, and 10 mysterious powder. You can use the Sang coins to exchange for the strange and beautiful herbs if you guys cannot find any over there in the Land of the Morning Light. So there are other options. Or, like I said, these can be bought from the central market for 90 mil each. If you guys are just starting out, you'll only have access to the lower end gatherer's uniform. This can be bought from the luxury vendor and or can be obtained from doing the challenges right here. Once you hit gathering artisan, you should be able to unlock the professional. I suggest, if you have no gathering level, I suggest you start out with using your silver embroidered. Your silver embroidered costume can be made from any costume mill or can be bought off the central market. They can be enhanced. You can enhance them using the fail stack, but I suggest getting your silver embroidered. It will help out with the plus 25 or whatever level that you want to go with. Plus 3 is a sweet spot to start out with. Plus 4 is a little OP. I think this one is usually worth 1.4 bill in the central market, so it's not like you really need to go that much. Now, if you're trying to go for the mastery, I suggest after you hit your 800 mastery normally, before your mastery close, I suggest going with your Logia. Your Logia can be built up from Pry all the way up to 10. I suggest starting out with your Try. Your Try is the best sweet spot to start out with your mastery, and then you can start progressing towards getting your Manos close. So if you take a look at the Manos and 10 Logia, they're almost on par. 10 Manos has 20 more mastery, but 10 Logia, it's a lot easier to get. You can tap it up, and it's a lot cheaper than spending 4.9 bill. Your Manos clothes is going to be your best in slot. They are a little bit harder to get. They can be crafted or can be bought off the central market. You can get all of your clothes, your tools, and everything from doing your Imperial fishing, your Imperial alchemy, your Imperial cooking. As for the accessories, your Trilogia is going to be the starter accessories. Then you want to start working on getting your Trimanos. Your Trimanos is going to be your first stop in the best in slot accessories. Accessories can be either bought, green grade and blue grade can be bought from either Zarya over there in Velia or the central market. Central market is cheaper if you guys are trying to go for your tabs, but you have to rely on people selling them. That's the only downside. Manas have to be crafted, which all your recipes can be found in the crafting note. If you take a look, you can find all of your clothes recipes, you can find all of tools, accessories, but accessories can be crafted using the mana stone, which can be found either sea monster hunting or can be bought from the jewelry vendor in any major city. Scorched fragment, which can be made from the daily over there at Lara in Heidel, or can be bought off the central market. Events will give them out, and or can be got using radiant Shakatu seals. If you guys get 100 seals, you can choose your own. You can choose your own between the Manos earring, belt, ring, and or necklace. Or like I said, they can be bought off the central market, but if you guys are buying them off the central market, keep in mind that they are pretty expensive. Tri-Manos can go for 5.7 bill minimum. Also, if you guys are trying to do the enhancing can be a little extreme with the 15% no fail stacking, no way to increase it, nothing like that other than just throwing it in and hoping we can fail 14 times before getting our guaranteed or getting lucky enough to get them. Not to mention the concentrated black gems are a little bit more expensive to get, or it's more time intrusive trying to do the sniper hunting over there in the land of the morning light. For those who cannot get your try, or you haven't tried to tap up for your try Manos, you have your Flamoros accessories that you can get from either getting the 100 season tokens for your season tunes and or doing 300 byproducts. It's either Liana or Dalashian. You can do a quest for 300 byproducts to turn in for your choice of the accessory. There goes the quest for the Flamoros. If you guys are having trouble finding it, you can find it under Lifeskill season and Flamoros, but these are on par with Tri accessories. They give the same little stats as the Tri mana, so if you guys are trying to tap up your Tri or you don't have your Tri and need the little slot filled, Flamoros is a great little option. It's cheap, it's easy. You don't have to worry about any of the failing or anything. It comes free already at Try. Let's move on to the tools. So starting off, you can either make magical tools from any tool workshop, or they can be obtained from the Black Spirit adventure game that we can play. These will be your starter tools, the things that you'll be using before you start dealing with mastery. There are the Demi-Har tools that we can get from the loyalty shop, though keep in mind these will only last until the durability is done, and you can't repair them. You can only get them once for the beginning of the month, so it's not like you can go out and get multiple of them unless you go ahead and save them and wait until using. Once opened, they have 14 days until they expire and have plus 50% gathering experience or life experience on it. Those will be the best tools to use while gathering. Sometimes, very rarely during events, you will get the Stella toolbox, which are a temporary Tet Manos tool, but they're temporary for 30 days, so once you open them, you have that month until they expire. But they give them out. You should be able to stock them up if you guys have not bought your Tet tools and or can't enhance your Tet tools. The contribution tools are still available over there at Normal Late in the Northern Wheat Plantation, but they do cost 50 contribution points, and I feel as though the contribution is better placed in other things, so I would avoid going for the contribution tools. They are an option though. Let me not try to tell you that they aren't. They are. So if you guys have the free 50 contribution, you can rent any of the tools of your need, but you can only rent one at a time. I feel as though you're better off going with the Logia at that point, Logia or Manos. If you guys are dealing with mastery and or trying to make gathering a main staple of your life skilling, I suggest moving into mastery tools. Logia, Garanoa, or Manos tools would be the next step into your gathering. And the Logia are the cheapest to buy, cheapest to get, cheapest to enhance, easiest to enhance. Those will be your starter tools. I suggest getting your Try and then starting to work up towards getting your pen tools if you're looking into going that route, or going from your Try tools to your Try Manos. Your Manos tools can be crafted They can be bought off the central market, and if you take a look at the Imperial Alchemy, if you have 5,000 tools, you should be able to get your Manos Hoe, your Manos Fluid Collector, your Manos Alchemist Clothes. Your cooking has your Manos Butcher Knife. Those will be what you'd be going for trying to get your rare drops, gathering time reduction. For your tools, I suggest branding them. You can get an item brand stone from the Pearl Shop, Function, Miscellaneous Brandstones. Brandstones can be bought, one and or a bundle of 6. It'll reduce the chances it'll break so fast, so you're not having to run out and repair it a lot. The tool bag, if you guys want the Liana's tool bag, the quest that can be found here, or you can go to any Liana in any major town. But this tool bag will give you the Liana's tool bag, which will allow you to put all of your tools into the bag to allow you to just simply cycle through using whichever button it is, depending on if you're on console or if you are using the controller. I know it's like F5 for the keyboard, F5 and F6 to cycle through on the keyboard. I'm not sure about the controller. I haven't really sat there and checked, but there is an update coming out to make this shared between your families. When that does go live, that tool bag will be usable from any tune on any channel, doesn't matter. As long as you have your tools in that bag on a tune, it should be usable. Without the bag, you will have like a basic little gathering. It's not going to be as effective as using a tool, but we're waiting for that update to come out. So if you're watching this after the update goes live, just know that will be usable for any tune as long as you have it unlocked and you have the tools in there. The bag will only allow Logia, the blue grade, or the Manos tools. I want to say you can mix and match between having your Logia Hoe or the Manos Butcher Knife in there, but you cannot use the magical tools in them, the Demihar or the late tools. Only the mastery tools can go in them. Now, as for the Alchemy Stone, blue grade Life Spirit Stone, which can be bought and or found from Polyforest, just buy them. They're pretty cheap. They're going for 2.3 mil each, but these are your first starter stones to get started out with before you go ahead and start dropping money. There are other stones like normal life stones, which can get a little more expensive, which the yellow grade sharp is the sweet spot to go for your gathering for most of your life skilling before having to invest either a lot of money into tapping to enhance it or waiting for a pre-order and spending a couple bill for best in slot ones, which I suggest going for the Splendid. Splendid is your best one. It has the best gathering item drop rate and your gathering slash fishing speed, weight limit increase, your processing success rate, and your cooking and alchemy times. Now, after you take a look at your life stone, the blue grade life stone and the sharp, you can now take a look at the trance tier. The trance tier is the perfect alchemy stone for leveling. It has plus 30% life experience on it, and it's easy to get. There is a quest that you can go do from the quest log if you open it up. Mine is already completed, but this is the quest line to unlock the trance tier. So if you guys are still having trouble unlocking it and or don't know where to go, this quest should help you, but it'll give you the best life alchemy stone to use for leveling. Then you can move on to the Khan's Heart of Life. This stone, it is under the Sharp Alchemy Stone, but the caveat and the saving grace for it, the reason why I will suggest going out and investing into it and or making it, is passive plus 25 mastery that it gives, meaning you can pop any of these stones. You'll have all of the bonuses while still getting the plus 25 mastery. So you can still try to go ahead and get to another bracket while getting all of the other buffs from the alchemy stone. So it is worth going ahead and getting just for that plus 25 if you guys are trying to get into the 2k mastery bracket. If you guys are already getting the 2k mastery bracket, it's not really meaningful for you, but I still suggest getting it because it can be used for all the other life skills. Oh, but your life stone is broken. Don't you worry, I got you. Life stones can be repaired. Clicking recharge alchemy button. If you go to the recharge, it will tell you that it will require whichever oil, blood, reagent, and a mythical spirit powder, which If you see, it'll tell you the required amount. Go ahead and throw in, I can do the max amount, but I'm going to show you just putting in the 92. Skip, and you can simply recharge. These can be either obtained from petals from a gathering. If you go over to do the exchange, you have the choice between choosing a fairy, an enhancing buff, I want to say, and spirit powder. Or you can get it from grinding down the blue grade life spirit stones, blue grade yellow stones. If you take one of those, grind it down, these will be the best way to get any of your powder. Do not grind down any of your other stones. Don't bother. Your spirit stones that you can find out there in polyforest, mob grinding mainly, that's the best way to get it. And that works for every single life stone that you need for recharging it. See the sharp? You can go ahead, throw those in, and it'll recharge it. It'll only take the needed amount, so if you throw in all of it, you don't have to worry about, oh, that's the whole stack, it's gone. It'll only take out what's needed and throw the rest back into your bag. If you're trying to tap up your sharp, I do have a guide on that if you guys want to check out my channel, but it will require whatever material to polish it up. Once you polish it up to 150%, you have the chance of going ahead and growing it up to the next grade, and or either breaking, decreasing, depending on how far along the path that you've went. But it's a little complicated. I suggest just going out and buying it. It's very hard to try to grow your sharp into a resplendent. All right, let's go on to the artifacts. The artifacts are really easy. They're really simple. Any of the generic life experience and or mastery can be found doing any and every type of life skilling. They're the generic stand-in. They're good, but they're not as good as the specific one, like gathering, item drop rate, or processing, blah blah blah. These ones are your stand-in. They have +7 mastery and or the +3 experience, whereas if you go for the specific ones, they have +5 experience and +10 mastery. The gathering can be found only while gathering. You have a chance of finding the gathering experience, the gathering mastery, and the gathering item drop rate. The gathering item drop rate will increase the chances of finding your rares, I want to say, but it's not that much. It's only +2% for each artifact. Now, for the lightstones, you can find the floral lightstones while gathering, so it should be easy. You can buy them off the central market, and for purifying them, you can go to Dollar Shein and purify them using 20 mil each. Or you can use Guru Alchemy to go ahead and purify them like that, but you have a chance of getting lightstones needed, including the very, very expensive ones. After you've sat there, purified your lightstones, your artifacts, let's get into some useful little combinations. A couple combinations that we can go for, which I suggest starting out with your basic bare minimum gathering. Starting out, we have the all 3 Flora plain lightstone, which will give our Curious Lightstone combination, which has +5 gathering experience. The next step up from that would be the +8, which is 1 more plain lightstone added onto it for 4 Flora plain lightstones. The next step up from that would be +16. The +16 lightstone combination is called Pluck, which is 3 plain lightstones and the iridescent. Iridescents are a little harder to get, like I said, on the central market. You can get them from the Dark Rift bosses, but they are usually 400 to 800 mil. Then after that, we can start getting into mastery. If you guys are looking into mastery, you can use the 3 Flora Lightstone Forest, which will give the 4-leaf clover gathering mastery +8. The next step up from that is Spirit's Echo, which gives gathering mastery +15, which is 4 of Flora Lightstone Forest. Then finally, with the last upgrade being True Lover, which gives +30 gathering mastery, but it will require 3 Flora Lightstone Forest and 1 iridescent lightstone. After you guys take a dabble in that, you can move down to best in slot in my opinion. The starter is the Scurrying Weasel. This is your cheaper end. You want to start, but you can't really get lucky getting more important fortune lightstone. The Scurrying Weasel gives gathering item drop rate plus 5%, gathering experience plus 10%, gathering mastery plus 20%, movement speed plus 3%, and gathering plus 1%. This will require plain lightstone, forest lightstone, rush lightstone, the fire rush lightstone, with 1 iridescent lightstone. This is a lot easier to get. The harder one to do is obviously the iridescent, but these are the cheapest stones that you can get. Now, looking at the best in slot in my opinion, which is what I go for, is the Yawning Hedgehog. The Yawning Hedgehog will give you gathering item drop rate plus 10%, gathering experience plus 10%, gathering mastery plus 20, gathering plus 1, and added bonus of energy recovery plus 1. This will require plain lightstone, forest lightstone, wind lightstone, which is a little harder to get, more so than the iridescent lightstone that this combination requires. So if you guys can't get it, don't worry, you can still go with the Scurrying Weasel and get a little bit of bonuses, but that fortune lightstone can go for a lot of money. If you want to look at the lightstone here, it can go for 700 to a billion, depending on your region, depending on the demand, people wanting it, selling it, or try to purify the wind lightstones, which can be obtained from mob grinding. Now, if you guys are looking to power level, this combination is the best combination for power leveling. This one is a little bit harder to get with needing the iridescent lightstone, but it should be, if you have one, you should be good to go. Okay, it should be good to go. But this will require the lightstone wind mind, which will give us a little bonus, which we don't really care about. But what makes this combination shine is throwing 2 flora plain lightstones in there will give us plus 35 gathering experience with dropping our gathering mastery down by 500, which is fine. If you guys are out there trying to power level, there is no better combination. Trying to level, you're going to go for as much experience as you possibly can. The choice and focus gathering and your +4 silver embroidered gatherer's clothes will give you some insane gathering experience, especially when there's, say, a hot time event going on, like the plus 50% gathering experience going on that we have here. Yeah, you can get like 300% life skill experience bonus from all of your gear, your buffs, the events that are going, your pets. Next, let's talk about Caphras Journal of Nature. If you open up adventure log and go into Crow Merchant and do Caphras record 1, 2, 3, and 4, it should unlock quests to complete with volume 4 over there at Alliston. If you guys are looking to exchange it, I'm pretty sure if you head over to Alliston with the book in your inventory, he does have the option to go ahead and redo the last portion of the quest where it has you choose the 3 books. So if you chose combat, you do have the choice between choosing the contribution or the life experience at a later time and or right afterwards too. All right, now let's go on to the costumes. So the costumes, you can make one costume taking the professional gatherer's uniform, like say the skilled uniform, and using an equipment tailoring coupon on it to turn it into a costume. That will change it into, say, for example, like the farmer's clothes here or the fisher uniform here. The bonuses that the clothes have, the uniform that you have that you're putting the coupon on, will be on the costume. So I suggest using the professional grade to get the most back from it. Or if you guys are on, say, any other class than the shy, you can get the Treant Camouflage, which unfortunately will only give you the +1 gatherer level. Not that great. It will hide your name too, so if you guys are out there getting ganked, that is an option. But if you're the shy has a great option of being able to use the Curious Gatherer's Clothes. The Curious Gatherer's Clothes will give us a nice +10 on our gathering. It will act just like a combat clothes. It does give the combat experience, the Gatherer's Clothes, and when when you're using it on the Shy. Not only does it give the plus 10 gathering experience, but it gives the combat experience, which if you guys remember with the Shy has the skills for increasing the gathering. Not only does it have the gathering experience, the plus 5 at highest rank, but also when using gathering, you do convert some of the gathering experience into 300% combat experience. So you can fundamentally level your combat level while out there gathering and also doing your alchemy. The same rules apply. The Shy also has the bonus weight limit increase and also the normal weight limit increase that all the other classes have. So if you guys are out there gathering, this is a bright side for using the Shy. For the crystals, if you guys are trying to power level any of your life skills, if you guys are trying to hurry up and hit Guru or just want the experience, I suggest going for a full setup of the life crystals. Life crystals can be made using the forest crystal found out there sniper hunting. You can have a small chance of fishing out in the land of the morning light. The sand coins from the dailies out there in the land of the morning light also can be used to get the forest crystal. And then using the forest crystal, we'll take the 100 lightstone crystals, the 50 magical shards, depending on which one, the vital or the life. The life will take, I want to say 10 spirit leaves and 50 of the trace of nature. Now we'll go ahead and create the life crystal. The life crystal will give you 5% life experience. The mastery one, the vital crystal, will require the 10 bloody tree knot instead. So if you guys are trying to do the mastery, it will require the slightly different materials, but they can all be got while out there gathering, doing the chopping or the fluid collecting. The full slot will give you plus 80%, which will be extremely fucking overpowered after you throw in all of your other buffs and all of your other gear. Now, if you guys are more weight conscious, you guys are more worried about your durability, the preset that I like to go with, this is my personal preset. Going with this one will increase my max energy to plus 20, give me the combat experience plus 40, with on the Shy will help out leveling up my combat level for gathering because of the plus 30% combat experience that I get for my gathering anyway. The weight limit is plus 100 weight limit, the plus 30% life experience, so I'm still getting some experience, and I am getting the plus 40 life skill mastery. So I'm getting a little bit more rare drops. I'm power leveling up my gathering while still getting my weight and my energy, so I can stay out there gathering a little bit longer without having to pop my energy potions so often or having to stop and wait. But that's a little bit more advanced preset if you guys are wanting to do something a little bit more melded to what you guys are looking for, you know, change it around to best suit you. Everything should be done around you. This is just some suggestions. Just take that in mind. Everything that I say here is all a suggestion. If you guys are enjoying it, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn on all those notifications, all that good YouTuber shit. Now that we got our presets, let's look at our fairy. So the fairy, there's a couple things that you could do for the fairy that will help out with your gathering. Now, if you are on a class that will rely a lot on your mana, having a fairy with your miraculous cheer will allow you to use your mana potions. Your mana potions will regen your mana, allowing you to dash or do any of those skills that'll help you go from group to group. Or say if you are using skills to say kill packs of deer, it'll help you regen your mana like with the Shy and not have to stop and do a basic attack to regen your mana like that. But the higher your miraculous cheer, the quicker that your fairy will be able to pop it. This can be either bought from the central market for, depending on your region, here on NA, it can go for 18 to 20 bill, or can be obtained from mob grinding, which that's a whole nother subject. You guys can go ahead and look that up. Same applies for the infinite health potion, which if you guys are out there, for some reason, the mobs are hurting you really, really bad, the health potions or the infinite health potion can be popped popped by your fairy for at Miraculous Tier 2. The cooldown is every 5 seconds for me. Now, the Continuous Care. Continuous Care will allow you, if you hit, will allow you to set up the fairies for whatever buff items that you guys want, and whenever that buff item expires, the fairy will go ahead and automatically pop it, as long as you guys are in a spot that you can normally pop something. Like if you guys are underwater, the fairy will not pop anything until you come back up above water and can actually eat the food or drink the potion. Going for the Desert Gathering, if you guys are having trouble with heat stroke or the hypothermia and you don't have health potion to heal through it, you guys are not wanting to carry the extra health potions or anything like that, you can get the Exhaustible Well to automatically pop the purified water or the Star Anise Tea whenever you guys get it every 5 minutes. At tier 4, it can go down to, I want to say 2 minutes at tier 5, but that's something that you can go ahead and do if you guys are out there doing Pilgrim's Haven and you don't have your infinite health potion, or you don't want to heal through it and blah blah blah. You don't have the desert camo, which will help with the desert sickness. The Underwater Gathering, the fairy can get the Tingling Breath. The Tingling Breath will increase the underwater breathing duration that you can stay underwater. So the higher your tier, the more that you can stay under, the longer time duration that it is. The Radiant Fairy is the highest tier. Higher tier your fairy is, the more skills that your fairy can learn. Radiant can learn 6 skills. Every fairy will get +1 luck. So after that, you have a chance of learning any of these skills or any of these here at any tier. If you guys did not like your fairy, you can, there you go, rebirth. You can either try to reset it and try all over again and get better skills, or you can reset their persona and try to see if you can't get one that's talking or anything like that. But these will require Pearl Shop items, and I don't suggest that. The skill can be changed using the Thea's Orb. So it's 5 because I have the highest fairy and I have all of the skills. It should tell you 3 here, and then if you have all your skills, it will tell you it'll require 5. So unfortunately, I don't. They are a pay-to-win item to have. They do give them out during like rare events, so keep an eye out on them. If you guys are wanting to keep those buffs running, that's how to do it with your fairy, and that's a couple of the skills. But another useful skill for your fairy to have is the Feathery Steps. Feathery Steps will reduce the weight penalty reduction, or increase weight penalty reduction, up to 125%, which is pretty good if you guys are out there, you're gathering, and you don't have a high weight limit, or if you have a high weight limit and you want to stay out there. Every fairy can be got from the petals that can be obtained from gathering. You have a small chance of getting a Radiant Fairy. Let's talk about the pets. We have a great selection of pets, which, let's start out with our normal. We can get these any day, anytime, anywhere using the central market. There are the quests that we can get if you have the quest log open. If you open up pets, loyal companions, there are 5 pets that we can get, but there's pets here that can be obtained from the quest here. You can get certain pets for the login, like say the penguin pet can be obtained for the login. You can get the cuckoo bird for the login. During certain events, you can get the black cuckoo bird. And then as for the normal life-skilling pets, the normal life-skilling pets can be bought off the central market and or can be bought in the Pearl Shop, but they do come with the +1% for tier 1 all the way up to tier 5 for getting a tier 5 pet. As you can see here, +5. Now, they have a chance of getting, say, the +1 gathering, which is pretty good. It's pretty good, but the main hope, and it's all RNG, the main hope that you're trying to go for is the +5% gathering experience. If you are a shy, if your life skill pets do come with, say, the combat experience, don't fuss. Remember, our gathering does help out leveling up our combat. The more combat experience that we are running with, that should help out when we're gathering. That's just how the shy should play. I'm not talking about any other class. This is only shy dependent. Comment down below if that's really correct. If the combat experience from the shy combat experience skill, does it stack with that skill? Like, let me know down below. I'm all ears. I want to know. I'm curious. The normal life skill pets can be bought off the central market and be obtained through the quest and or certain events. We can go on to the really specific ones, the ones that will help out with certain odds or ends, like say the durability pet. It'll keep you out there going for a lot longer with not needing to stop repair because your durability loss. There used to be crystals for it, but the only way to get more durability reduction resistance is to stack our pets. Now, the next one to take a look at is the gathering pets, the hedgehog and the llama pets. The hedgehog and the llama pets, they're the needed pets for gathering. They will increase the gathering quantity, which means not only do you have a chance of just getting your normal gathering amount, but you have a chance of proccing another set of that. If you're out there gathering, if you take a look, the higher your tier, you have a chance of getting a whole separate gathering loot window smashed into your. The llama and the hedgehog do not stack. They do not stack. So if you are hoping to get that 100% chance of getting the gathering item quantity to proc more, no, you can only use the skill from one. You can have both of them out, so if you have a tier 5 hedgehog in my case and a tier 4, you can use them for the plus 4% and the say plus 5 gathering experience that they come with, but that skill will not stack. None of the special skills will stack, like the auto fishing and the gathering. So two of the same, the skills will stack, the ability to run will stack, everything will stack but the special talent. Keep that in mind if you guys are trying to buy both of them and hoping to overpower your gathering. It will not work like that. Yes, San, you are absolutely correct. And thank you for that question. That's a good question. Okay, now we've gotten down the pets. We've gone down the fairy camps. Camps can be, a normal green grade camp can be obtained from Bear here for completing the quest. He has a quest line that can get a green grade where you can put the anvil and little things like that. Completing the quest line over here in Bear will unlock the green grade campsite. Or if you guys have the money, you can install the, I guess, pay-to-win camp, the Nephart campsite. This will unlock the ability to go ahead, repair your tools, which the green grade can, but you will have to get another camp anvil, which will require the money for it. But if you guys have the pearls to spend, if you guys have the secret book of the old moon, you should be able to use the Villa Scroll and be able to get your gathering buff, your turning gauge from the campsite itself without having to actually head out to the Valencia. We'll get on to that later on, but if you guys wanted the campsite can be bought from opening up the pearl shop, going over to the travel aid. Should have the Nephart campsite for 4,900 pearls over on NA. It's a little OP, only one can be bought. It is worth it. If you guys are confused on how to install the Nephart tent after you bought it, can be applied from your Pearl inventory. If you look, it'll say Nephart. You just right click it and it'll apply it to your tent site. So that's how you go ahead and apply it. If you guys can't find it after you bought it and you are confused, you don't know where to go and all of that, and or you guys have that green grade, just remember to open up your camp tool and you can equip it and unequip it just like with normal horse gear. After the tent, there's couple staples that you should have if you guys are life skilling. The main buffs that you will need is the value pack, which will increase your inventory slots, your storage slots, which will like help you with your gathering the materials that you get. You don't have to worry about, oh, I don't have enough inventory, oh, I don't have enough storage. The weight limit will increase by 200. Now, unlike a normal sub, they broke it up into the Blessing of Kamasilv, which will increase your energy recovery plus 2. Not only will it increase the energy recovery, but it will increase marketplace capacity, the amount of materials that you can have in your marketplace to sell, and transaction made volume, like the amount of materials that they can go ahead and take from you to store in the storage or the central market. Then lastly, we have the Secret Book of the Old Moon, coin, which will give plus 50% life experience, and it will unlock the availability to do the Villa Scroll from your Nephart tent. If you guys don't have the tent, the other way to get it is to head to any of the villas. Here's the icon for the villa. Look at the villas. It'll say it over here on the scroll. Turning gates. So there are plenty of villas out there to go ahead and interact with to get your certain little life buffs if you are trying to go that route. Don't you worry. If you guys don't want to really run out to the desert, you have a turning gate right there that you can pop. Yeah, that's the closest one that is available for the turning gate buff if you guys don't have the tent. Those three there, they are pricey. I will tell you up front now, it is pay to win. It will cost you $40 USD every month to go ahead and have your 3 buffs active. That is something that will cost you money or can be bought from the central market. You have a chance of getting them, but it will take you a very 3 to 5 year wait time to get them. Another option is they do give them out for events sometimes, and you can also do at least 1 day for each of the buffs, but it will take 2,800 loyalty for the 1 day value pack, 2,000 for the blessing, and 2K for the secret book. So there are other ways to go ahead and get it, but they do give them out for certain events, and you can stock them up and just either pop them when you really need them or save them up. Another way is if you guys have the playtime will give you 30 days for the 20K hours, 60 for the 30K, 120 days for 40, and 180 days for the 50K. So if you guys have the time, that will give you the value pack too. Next, we have the food. I find that there's only one food that we should be going for. One food that we should always be using for gathering, and that's the seafood crons meal. The seafood crons meal is the staple of any gatherer. The seafood crons meal will be the best, giving you the plus 10 life experience, the plus 2 gathering, the plus 2 movement speed, the plus 100 weight, and it also has the added bonus of the plus 25 life mastery. You can't beat it. It is the food to go for. It is what I will always pop whenever I'm out there gathering. Next, we have the Vidir draft. The Vidir draft alone is pretty good. It's pretty good with having plus 20 life experience, plus 3 gathering, plus 200 weight limit, but the downside is 15-minute duration. There is a great thing that we can do for it, but in order to make the Vidir draft, we will have to combine the Worker's Elixir, the Elixir of Time, and the Elixir of Swiftness with the Tears of the Falling Moon to make the Vidir draft, or these can be obtained for login bonuses, Black Spirit Adventure, events, they're just randomly given out. They can be bought off the central market too. Now, if you have the Vidir draft, and if you get lucky in the Black Spirit Adventure, if you guys are playing using the little dice here, you have a chance of getting Magical Elixir. The Magical Elixir is great. If you happen to get them, if you combine 2 of the Vidir drafts with one of these Magical Elixirs, you can make the magical variant of it. This will increase bonuses that we get from 15 minutes all the way up to 60 minutes. Next is the Perfume of Swiftness. It's a perfume you can use with the Vidir draft, so you can pop both of them at the same time, but this will give us 200 weight limit, plus 20% life experience, plus 5 movement speed, plus 5 gathering speed. So if you guys don't have gear or the tools still, you do have an option of popping one of those perfumes to go ahead and gather faster, but it does come with a downside. Value of it is extremely high, being 7.8 mil to 9 mil each, and the requirements to go ahead and craft it up for yourself requires you to go and hunt one of the blue whales in a group and get blue whale oil. But the blue whale oil costs 23.3 mil, and it can get a little bit expensive to go ahead and get them. So I suggest waiting for whenever they give them out for login events, or just say whatever they decide to give them. They give them out a lot. Next on our list, next on the agenda, we have the Secret Book of Florin. The Secret Book of Florin is really easy to get. Really easy to get. You can get these from completing any of Liana quests that she gives out, the weeklies that she gives out. The weeklies will give you Flormorose Petals. The Flormorose Petals can be combined with Liana's Catalyst and the Ludwig Catalyst. Those two items combined with Flormorose Petal that we can get from Liana's weekly, we can make the Secret Book of Florin. The Liana's Catalyst will only require the Flormorose Petal and the Catalyst to make, whereas the Ludwig's Catalyst will require one Catalyst, one Petal, and one item collection scroll. The Secret Book of Florin will give you the 100 life skill mastery and the plus 20% life experience. So it is worth going out and doing your weeklies every week to go and get your Flormorose Petals. You can get them for the Black Spirit Adventure during events, just randomly given out. They're pretty easy to get. The next on the list is the Gia Grolin support scroll, which is a little harder to get because you either have to graduate a seasoned character to get 2 of them. I think it's 2 or 3 of them that you get for doing that, or they are given out during events. You can either use tokens to exchange to get them. They'll give them out during the event login during that time, but those are a little bit harder to get. They do the same thing as the Secret Book of Florin and stack with the Secret Book of Florin, so you can pop both of them for an added plus 200 mastery and plus 40% life skill experience. Next on our list is Laura's Warm Black Tea. The Laura's Warm Black Tea can be obtained from mainly the Black Spirit Adventure or during events. It's a little bit harder to get, but readily available if you get lucky during Black Spirit Adventure during events. They'll give them out, but this will give us the plus 30% life experience and plus 10% gathering item drop rate with plus 100 weight limit. Now, what makes this great is the fact that it has the gathering item drop rate. The next item on the list, we're going to take a look at the Mercenary Scroll of Life. This one here is normally given out for logging in daily every day. You get 60-minute plus 50% life experience, but if you combine 3 of them, you will make the plus 150% for the same amount of time. With that, we have the event life experience plus 50%, which can be obtained from the Black Spirit Adventure or during events. They give them out a lot during events, so these are a lot easier to get, but they give the plus 50% life experience. The same thing applies for the one that can be obtained from the Pearl Shop. And lastly, the last item that we have to take a look at is the maintenance compensation. The maintenance compensation, the GM's blessing, they normally only give this out for whenever maintenance is running a little behind, whenever we are expected to be able to log in, but we can't. There's a problem. They are a little bit more rare to come by with depending on the GM's blessing. The GM blessing 2, for example, the one that they normally give out for maintenance, it'll give us the energy recovery plus 1 and life experience plus 10, which is great. Next docket on the list is the Sealed Book of Life. These can be obtained for events and or can be bought off the Pearl Shop in packages. Like they'll offer this as a little bonus, a little thing that they throw on the side. These will increase your life experience by 50% depending on how long, depends on the duration. This one's for 1 day, but you can get them up to, I want to say, a month. If you guys have event items like, say, the Ellie's Magical Elixir that's going on right now, that is plus 30% life experience that can be thrown on, not to mention the plus 100 weight limit. So there is a good reason to hold on to your elixirs or things like that. They have a duration within 14 days. So if you have ones that don't expire, hold on to them. All right, that's all of that. So now let's show you guys which buffs will stack. So we'll pop our Magical Vizier Draft. We'll do the Seafood Crons, Secret Book, Gia Grolin, the Mercenary's Life. It will go ahead and stack with the buffs that we have now. Don't stack with the Book of Life. So if you're trying to throw the Book of Life in your combination, you're not going to be able to. But see, we have Secret Book, Gia Grolin, Life plus 150, and the plus 50. It'll be the same as the Sealed Book, that's why. And pop our Laura's Warm Black Tea. That will stack with it, and like I said, that's a draft, and because this is a perfume, The perfume will also stack with that. And the event items will 9 times out of 10 usually always stack. If you guys are in a guild, you have the whole nimble fingers, sharp eyes of a gatherer, which will increase your gathering experience by 5%. You have your gathering level +3. If your guild is high enough and has it unlocked, you can get Guru's Touch, will give you another +40% life experience for 2 hours. And it's a guild skill, so you'd have to ask them to go ahead and pop it, but they will stack with everything there. If you guys needed more room, inventory, all of that good stuff, convenience, there are some miscellaneous items that can be bought, found, and or obtained that will help out your gathering. Starting out with Florence's Travel Bag. The Florence's Travel Bag can be obtained from the Pearl Shop. 16 slot can be bought twice per family, and the 8 slot can only be bought once per family. These do allow the ability to carry all of your life-skilling gear in one bag. It also applies to all of your tools. It will store all of your tools too, so if you have all of your fishing rods, your matchlocks, any other item that you wanted to throw in there, including, say, your Alchemy Stones, you can throw it in that bag to save the spots. The slot, the inventory slot, there you go. Another item would be the Marco's gear bag, can be obtained from the Pearl Shop too, or I want to say very, very rarely events will give them out, but the Marco's gear bag is another nifty little item that will store all of your combat gear, your accessories and everything. You can put all of this to a hotbar and change off just by hitting a button. Their nifty little thing to go out for is the Archaeologist map. Yes, I know it's mob grinding, it's combat related, but this Archaeologist map will help you. It will speed up the time it takes to travel around, even when there's no well available if you are trying to get the well. Either way, it will help you out. I suggest taking the time and torturing yourself to go out and get the Archaeologist map. That has a 6-hour cooldown, and you can teleport to and from the area wherever you started from. If that is a little too hard for you guys, there is a lesser grade map that you can get, being the Traveler's map. It is a one-direction map, one-time use. Once you pop it, you can't stop it. You have to use it, and it'll be on the same 6-hour cooldown. But if you have the blue grade map, you can pop the blue grade map and the yellow grade map too. Okay, so you guys asked me if there was a mount that would help out with gathering. And for that, I say there is. There is a mount that will help with gathering. Donkeys are great for leveling up your life skills. If you take out your donkey, normally the donkey alone is pretty lackluster. Go to Waves Rest here in the Papua Krune area. You can do the Sea Otter and the Papua little dailies that they give out to earn the fishbone or the rainbow pebbles to make your donkey crocodile gear. There is a set effect that comes with it. The stats, great, that's cool, that's great, but the stat bonus that comes with the little effect bonus down there, if you take a look, for 1 set, it gives the +3%. For 3 set, it gives you the +5. For 5 set, it will give you a max of 10%. You have to, unfortunately, have the donkey out to be able to use it. Jumping on the donkey and hitting the spacebar should activate it, but that should last an hour. As long as you get to the area that you need to get to, or it's not that far of a run, it shouldn't be that bad. If you are on a shy, you do get a bonus for the experience that you get back for doing the donkey training, so it is worth mentioning using a donkey if you're out there life skilling, especially on a shy. It'll help you power level your training, not to mention it will also help you level your life skilling with that buff alone. Yeah, that's the only type of mount that will help out with your life skilling. A good way to start leveling, to get your foot wet and dabbled all up into gathering, is to try out the life quests here. We have the life gathering, the basics of life. It'll go and show you guys around to the different NPCs and show you like the capabilities of life skilling and help you get an idea of just like what you want to be doing or what you find fun or interesting. Take you around, introduce you to new NPCs. I'm pretty sure it introduces another little life quest line that'll continue down the line, and you'll get more goodies and things as it goes, but that's one way to get started. And if you guys are lower level, A good way is to come out here to Olivia. There are dailies that you can get for gathering. They're pretty good. They give you some silver that you can turn in for some actual silver. They give you the materials needed for alchemy. You can store everything that you get out there. You can do the sapping, the herb gathering. You can fluid collect out there, store the materials, and have it ready and waiting for when you want to do alchemy. But there are dailies that you can do out there to help level up your gathering and get a little bit of goodies on the side. Those are two of the ways to go and get started with your gathering. I'm not sure if you guys have the progression pass or if this is even a thing for you guys anymore. If it is, if the progression pass is a thing for you, it will have little objectives that you guys can go and experiment through to see like different little aspects of gathering. It'll give you different quests to go out and find, different little objectives to do for it, like get 10 logs or use processing to process down the logs to make usable scantling, or make a concentrated magical black gem with simple alchemy, things like that. But the more that you complete, you unlock these objectives here, the little rewards for the objectives. You get your Vidir drafts, perfume of swiftness, extra life skill experience scroll, life spirit stone. I want to say that's the blue grade one. That might be the blue grade one. You get a box of demi heart tools for leveling up your gathering. You get the energy tonics, the event ones. Those can be, usually you get a small one from the Black Spirit Adventure and sometimes during events, but you get 5 of them for completing 15. For 20, you get 2 Secret Book of Florins. And then lastly, for 25 is the goal that you should be going for your choose your own Manos tool. That'll hurry up and bypass needing to craft your own or going out and using the seals to get your own or buying one. And then obviously if you complete the objectives, the more objectives that you complete, the little bonuses that you can unlock here, from storage to loyalty to cron stones to things to help out with mob grinding, choose your own buff box, gold boxes, gold on gold on gold, and stacks on stacks on stacks. So it is something to check out if you guys have the progression pass. I'm not sure if it's even a thing anymore, but I still have the button. It's up here if you guys are wondering where it is. If you have it, cool, great. If you don't, please do not be alarmed. They probably removed it from the game because I haven't seen anyone really talk about it in 3 years now. Now, as for areas, if you guys are trying to power level, there are a couple spots with one main area being out here in Bear. Out here in Bear, we'll have herbs to go out and gather, and you should be able to power level with no problem with all of your little buffs going, your pets active, your fairies reapplying the buffs, your Lightstone combination, everything that'll help out. If you guys are curious on where this is, you can find this area out here over south from Bear. From here all the way to the bridge, there's a small little rotation. There's not really much to it. I'm pretty sure everyone and their mom knows about this now, but from the bridge all the way down to all the way over here, that's where it's going to stop on both sides of the road. It's one of the best places to go ahead and power level just because of availability of the herbs that they have, respawn rate of the herbs, and usually you can blow through a lot of energy out here. Okay, so this is the best herb gathering area. So now that we have the best herb gathering area, let me show you the next area to head out to. Going south here to Bear. If you guys wanted to know the location, still keeping up with where the herb gathering area is, you have all of these elk that can be butchered, and they usually respawn back really quickly. The great side about gathering with these guys, or gathering these guys, are the fact that if you guys are butchering, you have a chance of getting more of the black gem fragments than anywhere else, any other of the mobs that we can butcher. I'm not sure how accurate and how true that statement is anymore, but this is a great spot for getting a lot of your red meat, having a chance of getting all of the black gem fragments. For everyone that was wondering another good area to do your gathering, I suggest heading out here to Pilgrim's Haven to do all of your mining. If the desert is a little too difficult for you guys to navigate through, there are some options that are available to you, one being the yellow grade compass that you can get while mob grinding. The other option is the blue grade compass that you can get while mob grinding, bartering. You know, you can... Mainly, I found that Pilaku Jail had a great supply of the compass parts. But that's just me. Everyone's RNG is different. But if you guys were having trouble trying to figure out where to go, the compass is a great little need. Yeah, there are 3 compass parts each, and they go for 3 mil each on the central market. You can buy one over here on NA. They're like 2.6 mil each. And to combine them, all you have to do is take off the auto arrange option, make sure they are lined up next to each other like so, see the little icon, and you combine it. It will make your Ancient Explorer's Compass, and with that, you should be able to tell where you are on the minimap. But this is a great and one of the best places for all of your mining needs. Another great spot to power level your gathering, if you guys are doing it by hunting, is out here in Narcion. A great place is over here with the grass rhinos. The grass rhinos have the highest experience that you can get for your hunting. So out here in the grass rhinos, you guys can check out my 29.22 doing my gathering. Yeah, it is a way to go ahead and try to level up your gathering without having to spend all of that energy with gathering. A lot of times you won't spend the energy when out here gathering, so try to take advantage of that. That's actually a lot. That's actually a real lot for your gathering, so that is a possibility. You can go ahead and make the money with your hunting, and you can go ahead and not use as much experience or not use as much energy as you would with, say, your actual gathering. Leveling up gathering is hard because of energy consumption. Well, luckily for you, a great way to level up your gathering if you guys are not wanting to solely deal with gathering, and if energy is really that much of a problem, if you're out here in the Land of the Morning Light, you have a sniper rifle, you can go and level up your gathering extremely quick using... I got a bear. Using the sniper hunting and the gathering portion of it. The butchering. Let's demonstrate. Because I am wearing full gathering. I'm not wearing any hunter gear, just straight gathers. We have our mastery. What's our mastery at? Our mastery for butchering is 2k. So let's keep an eye on our gathering experience there. This is for hunting. It is a great way to go ahead and power level your farming if energy is that much of an issue, and I did not use any energy for that. No energy was used in the making of this clip. So that is one idea for you guys if you guys are trying to power level your gathering and you don't want to sit there and actually gather, or the energy is not doing that well. And as you guys can see, I am doing my sniper hunting in my gatherer's clothes. I'm not using the sniper hunting, or I'm only using the sniper hunting rifle, but my hunting mastery is 1300. I'm solely relying on shooting correctly and doing all of that. So if you guys are not set up for sniper hunting, just know you can still do that and level up your gathering. Okay? You can still do it. Desert debuff can happen out there, which will interrupt the minigame. If you guys are having trouble with the minigame and the desert debuff out there in Pilgrim's Haven, it's always closing down your minigame. A great idea is to open up your settings. If you go into the general settings all the way down to MISC, inside of MISC, click the hide UI when struck, and then the hide full screen UI when struck. That will prevent your minigame and your map, any little window here, like how I have this up now and I have that desert debuff going in the background. It will not close out anything whenever you get hit. Another great idea to do is to change your settings down to very low. A lot of times the high quality remastered eye candy will have too much lens flare and you won't be able to see the ground. Nighttime can be a little bit too dark. Just overall lighting can be real iffy when it comes to your life skilling. So if that's a problem, make sure to turn it down onto low, play with your potato graphics for the moment, and you should be able to see every little area that you need to be gathering in. There's not going to be a lot of grass there to cover your spots and hide what you're trying to go for. Another option that you guys can turn off is the effects. Go down to the camera effects in your display settings and take off the vibration. Take off the whole vibration and all of those things that will make your game blurry. It'll jittery your screen, just make it a lot more difficult for you to sit there and focus. You know, it can be a little bit jarring seeing your screen hit every time you get hit by an animal and things like that. Sand just said there's a really great option if you guys are wanting to be able to just click on something and gather it. If you go over to the interface section, go down to the mouse interface. If you click on this whole mouse to move option, you have the ability to click on any nearest node near you to go ahead and gather. You can go ahead and gather. Switching to alts, you can underwater gather to your heart's content. You can go switch off to do your mining, and you don't have to worry about all of your skills. That's why it's a perfect time to start leveling up your gathering. It's a perfect time to have fun, to make money going out there gathering. Let me know how you guys feel about this, if this helped you out, if there's anything that I'm missing. I tried to be as complete as I possibly could to show you guys some ways to power level your gathering, to get more back from your gathering, some places to get your gathering. I tried to do as much as I could. This kind of ran a little bit longer, but this is the complete gathering guide, or at least the almost complete gathering guide that I could possibly give you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something. If you guys felt like it was worth the time and the effort, you know, be sure to subscribe, turn on all those notifications if you guys are watching me over there on YouTube. It was great having you guys. Huge shout out to my channel members over there. Enjoy your week. Oh, I'll be back for the update. We'll have an update day. Fuck yeah, even though the update has really nothing great.